All righty. Welcome, everyone, to episode 2 of the ReelTok Podcast. I'm Cam, alongside my beautiful hosts, George, Tyler, and Seth. We appreciate all the new listeners for this second episode. We appreciate those who came back from episode 1, allowing us to do this second episode. If you are returning, you'll notice last episode George was hosting. This episode I'm kind of hosting. We're just kind of rotating hosts. We'll see what sticks. Maybe we'll rotate forever. Maybe we'll pick one. Who knows? But I do have some big shoes to fill, so let's get into it. How are you guys? How you doing? How's everyone's week?
Good. Very good.
Oh, Seth. It was Seth's birthday on Friday. We got to shout him out. Did you do anything fun?
I went for a meal. It was nice. I put on my TikTok story meal that I was 34, and the amount of people that believed it kind of offended me.
I actually saw that. That was fun.
Do you know what? People were putting like, "Oh, you look really good for 34." I thought you were like 29. I'm 24.
Yeah.
I'm 24. But no, it was good. I enjoyed it. It was enjoyable. It was good.
Seth, you had some like people post TikToks, like TikTok videos wishing you a happy birthday, which is something I've never seen on TikTok, and I thought that was hysterical.
Yeah, it's quite nice. I didn't really know what to think of it. Like, why? I don't know why people would be bothered, but if you are, I'll take it.
Shout out to them.
You'll definitely take it.
You're off to a rough start for 24, though, right? Aren't you sick right now? So you're powering through.
Oh, I've got the worst cold. I don't know. Do you say cold in America?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You say cold. No, but you say things really weirdly a lot of the time. So I don't know. I've got the flu. I've got the cold. I'm not feeling very well. So if my voice does sound a little bit nasally at times, then that's why. But...
I think it's making it sound nice and low voice, nice and sexy. So I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
Oh. Bit flirty there, my man.
George, anything fun from the week?
Honestly, unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, the podcast isn't my full-time job, so my week is spent sitting behind a desk from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and enjoying the comfort of my coworkers. But no, week was fine. Work, after work, get out, go to the gym a little bit. Couple of movie releases I got the chance to watch this week, which we're going to talk about in a little bit that I'm excited about. But yeah, pretty tame week compared to, the end of the summer that I've had.
And Tyler, if I'm not mistaken, you're getting back in the gym this week. How's that been going? How are we riding?
Going well. It's a grind getting back into it, especially like anyone who's like worked out regularly, and then if you take a long break, you can know how tough it is to get back into it. So been going well. I work out I just have a home gym in my garage. It's just like a bench, some dumbbells, and a barbell, and that's basically it. But I live in Arizona, which anyone in the UK, or I know we have some like people in India, like our analytics are so cool. We have people like across the globe listening to this podcast. But Arizona is like straight up desert, sunny all the time. It's September and it's still over 100 degrees every day, and it's going to be like that until probably mid-October when it dip down to high 90s. I do not know what that is in Celsius. So sorry, anyone in the UK, all you UK listeners, but it's hot all the time, which makes my garage just an absolute oven, which I guess like helps for the workout. It just makes it like a sauna in there, but it's definitely a grind. And
I was going to say that's not a bad thing at all to just sweat your life away.
You like that? Some people just want to be in like a 63-degree air conditioned, like cool when they're working out.
No, I have to train in cold. It's got to be cold for me. Has to be. Yeah, I hate training in the sun, man.
See, I love when I don't know what, just the idea of sweating while working out makes me think like I'm doing something right, and then I like to end most of my workouts just putting on a sweatshirt and doing like 20 minutes on the Stairmaster or something, and just sweat away.
I know what you mean. It's like a psychological thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I just don't like training in the sun. It makes me feel weird.
That's fair.
Yeah. All right, well, I have to tell my story of my beautiful wife got me a desk this week, so that's why I'm a little off from where I was last week. But it's a very nice desk. Yeah, well, very nice. It's a desk, right? And then I was drilling on the top. I was drilling the legs on the top, and we can add like a picture in. I think Tyler can edit that. I just drilled straight through it in all 4 corners. So there are 8 holes now that are in my brand new desk. So that makes it a bit difficult. Can't really run a mouse over them. It's kind of a mess, but I have to live my life very, very easygoing. Otherwise I would just like die at this point, because 95% of the things in my life go wrong. like my tattoo getting messed up and them spelling the word this wrong. So I just have to live my life and accept things that suck. Yeah, I just drilled straight through my desk. So shout out her for the new one, but it's kind
You
of a
ruined
mess
it already.
Yeah.
It ruined it.
Yeah, no, it's an absolute mess, but no worries. All right, we got a big show. So we got a bunch of news to run through. We're gonna do two reviews of The Woman King as well as Pearl, both brand new releases. Unfortunately, Mr. Seth over there cannot be in these reviews. He may have to mute his audio.
If I don't speak for like 10 minutes, then that's why. Because we
yeah.
get the films. Although I'm actually getting Woman King on Tuesday, which is a little bit annoying because
you're more than welcome to give your thoughts next week. Unfortunately, I tried giving Seth a website to maybe watch him online. Not great quality, I'm assuming. Probably couldn't hear a whole lot, but go to the theaters, support theaters, no pirating.
Support theaters.
Yeah, support theaters. Sorry to every UK listener who has not seen them.
There's no
yet,
spoilers anyway. We're not really spoiling it. You're just going to be speaking about what you think of it and stuff. So
I might spoil it just for fun. You don't know. You don't know what I'm going to do. I'm a loose cannon. Could be anything. And then we're going to do a little, after those reviews, we'll do a little fun like Fantasyland draft. There are a couple miscellaneous things we might talk about if we get to it. But yeah, we're going to do like a fictional land draft. We already have the order. So yeah, it's got a good show for you. Let's get right into it. I'm an MCU guy, superhero guy, so we're going to start off with that. Small things. Not everything needs to be touched on. We could just give our quick thoughts and maybe not even good quick thoughts. Just run through them. But Charlie Cox says Daredevil Born Again is a season 1 and not a season 4. I think this is going to make a lot of stupid people really upset and poop their pants, but I think they'll be all right. And any opinions on it?
All right, so I guess I'm stupid people because this kind of bothers me a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
I hear season 1, not season 4, and I think just a brand new MCU restart for Daredevil.
It's fair.
Which, if you have been following my page for a while, you know how much I love the Netflix Daredevil show. I love how dark it is. I love how raw it is. I love the brutal nature of the film. The last thing I want to see is Daredevil fall into a Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, MCU humor type show. The 18 episodes gives me hope, I will say, because I think that gives them a lot of time to explore the MCU humor side as well as the Netflix dark side. But overall, I have been a skeptic of Daredevil entering the MCU since I saw him in Spider-Man No Way Home.
It's fair.
But that's just me. That's just the cynic inside of me. Go in with low expectations, and maybe I won't be disappointed.
That's fair. Seth, you haven't seen it. Tyler, have you seen Daredevil? Netflix show?
I have not, but do you feel like it's almost a bait and switch by Marvel and kind of disingenuous to bring Charlie Cox back if they're going to completely disabandon the Netflix show, but they're just bringing him back because they hope people think that it's going to be like the Netflix show and get people excited and watch it and then realize it's way different because it's Charlie Cox again. You're like, oh, it's just going to be season 4, not season 1. Like, it's logical for us to think it would be season 4, not season 1, seeing as it's the same guy.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's like it's a business. I think they don't give a shit about our opinions. They just want to make money. So yeah, it probably is. But guess what? A lot of people are going to watch it and they're going to make money. So I think that's all they care about. Shout out corporate America, but that's what they're looking for. I don't know.
This might be a hot take. I didn't like Daredevil's appearance in Spider-Man No Way Home at all.
Really? Boo.
I don't. Here's the thing.
When was he in No Way Home? I don't remember.
He's the lawyer.
He's the lawyer, the blind lawyer.
Catches the bread.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the whole Daredevil in Spider-Man No Way Home, and I know we're kind of running amok and you can absolutely stop me if I talk too long. It made no sense. It was there for fan service specifically. He comes in, all he says is, "You're fine, Spider-Man. All of your lawsuits are gone."
Mm-hmm.
Done.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
They glossed over the entire legal aspect of what Spider-Man was going through in 10 seconds just to get Charlie Cox in the movie. And I get it. Spider-Man No Way Home was not a law movie by any means, and that's something that they're going to gloss over. Do it with another lawyer. Don't do it
She-Hulk.
Yeah, literally. Do it with She-Hulk, and then
add her in. That's
fair. It's just something that constantly bothered me. And
I'm gonna dive into a rabbit hole here as well. Sorry, but George, I agree with you, and I think that's a big problem with Spider-Man: No Way Home is the fact that the first third is wildly different than the last two thirds. And that is a big problem for me. They just push past him being on the run kind of thing, and then they just once he gets to Doctor Strange. But I think a lot of people look past that when they think about No Way Home, so it's fine. I don't know. I like that they're bringing him back, obviously, but I like the way they're doing it with small teases in every fucking project. Apparently, I don't know if you've seen that meme, but it's the Social Network where he's like, "I'm not coming back for 50%, asshole. I'm coming back for the whole thing." That's Charlie Cox right now, so good for him getting that bag. Moving on, Jeff Loveness writing the Avengers Kang Dynasty. He's also writing Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. He also wrote a bunch of Rick and Morty episodes. I don't know really anything about him. Is this anything?
Yeah.
Well, Rick and Morty's great. So
okay, yeah, I've never seen it.
It's really good. It's really good.
Yeah, so looking at Jeff Loveness, he's writing Quantumania and Kang Dynasty, so we'll see how Quantumania turns out. But he started his career writing for The Onion, a satirical news network.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote the Emmys and the Oscars in 2016 and 2017, and people don't really usually love those award show sketch comedies. He wrote for Jimmy Kimmel Live and Rick and Morty. So other than Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania and Kang Dynasty, he's completely a sketch comedy writer.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a lot of people's critique with MCU is that it's getting too heavy in jokes. And this guy's a purely, not even just he does it, and sometimes purely Jeff Loveness is a comedic writer.
Mm-hmm.
So take that for what you will.
And now they're bringing him in to write the next Avengers film.
Yeah.
Oh,
I will give him credit where credit is due. He did write Vat of Acid episode for Rick and Morty, which is my favorite Rick and Morty episode without
That's a really good episode.
It's such a good episode. But to bring someone in who has essentially no experience in screenplays,
that is strange.
Feature films, it's odd. It's an odd decision. And listen, like Kang said, the MCU is known for their humor. Now you're bringing in a sketch artist.
Yeah.
How much do I have to worry about Kang cracking jokes before killing Ant-Man or something?
Yeah, from everything I've seen, trailers that have been leaked from the D23 as well as Comic-Con, it looks good. But also, Ant-Man's always been a comedy, so that one I'm not as worried about. It's Paul Rudd; it's going to be a fucking comedy. Also, the Russo brothers, most notably from Community, but then they had plenty of directing credits before Captain America: The Winter Soldier. So who the hell knows? Some people might be excited about this. This is not something for me, but a sequel to Constantine is in development. Keanu Reeves returning with Francis Lawrence to direct. The first Constantine to me is kind of as middle of the road as it gets.
I think it was just an okay film, a 5 or 6 out of 10. But I think also it was probably a film that a lot of people watched growing up as well, around our age. So potentially might be a case of just people getting excited for it because Keanu Reeves is back playing that role. But personally, I'm not that bothered about it. I just thought it was an okay film. But who knows? Some people might be.
I have a friend who loves it, so who knows? But
it's got a bit of a cult following.
Yeah.
I don't mind. I do mind Constantine too, because this strikes me as a cash grab, but just the same way Matrix Resurrections was a cash grab.
That's what the majority of these are.
I mean, it's
my problem is they're bringing in Akiva Goldsman to direct to write the movie, who is such a questionable decision because this guy has an Oscar for Best Adapted Screenplay for A Beautiful Mind.
Yeah.
But on the complete other end of the spectrum, he's written Transformers: The Last Night. Yeah. He's written Batman and Robin, Angels and Demons, The Da Vinci Code, The Dark Tower.
Portfolio then.
Not great.
It's not. It's crazy. Yeah, he won an Oscar and then basically said, "I'm gonna write as shitty as possible." And now they're bringing him in for a sequel that I know a lot of people are going to be excited for because, like you guys said, there is a massive cult following around Constantine. And if this character is done right, this could be a good movie because this is a genuinely interesting character. I don't know if you guys have ever read the comics, but he is a very interesting character that could be done very well.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Bouncing into the Spider-Verse, got a couple delays. Madam Web delayed from October 6th, 2023 to February 16th, 2024. And then Kraven the Hunter delayed from January 13th, 2023 to October 6th, 2023. So kind of shifting those dates a little bit. not a whole lot there. Kraven the Hunter is going to be a animal lover, but who cares? It'll be interesting to see.
Take your time, Sony. Literally none of us are rushing you to finish these. I'm not dying to see these movies. I don't need them now. Take your time, please.
I don't know. Now I'm worried about El Muerto. How is that going to go, man?
I'm worried about anything Sony wants to put out ever. For the rest of my life, I'm going to be worried about Sony.
Other than Across to the Spider-Verse.
I came home the other day from watching Pearl, and my dad was sitting on the couch watching Morbius, and I was just laughing. He was coming up on the scene where Morbius is like, "I'm getting hungry. You won't like me when I'm hungry." And me and my dad both just started hysterically laughing. Like, we couldn't believe this line was in this fucking movie.
It's 2022 movie. All right, we got a lot of new trailers this week. Babylon came out, directed by Damien Chazelle, releasing January 6, 2023. Got a stacked cast. It looks like a good trailer. Any notes? I know George did a reaction for it.
Yeah,
which got blocked in about
which got blocked in
seconds.
So fast, so annoying. But I've been on the Damien Chazelle train forever. I think we spoke last week about what Timothy Chalamet, like anything he's in, I'm watching. That's Damien Chazelle for me. Anytime this man drops a movie, we need to be paying attention. He's one of the best working this century. I'll go as far as saying he's one of the best of the 2010s. So I am very excited for Babylon.
Heck yeah. I think it looks good.
So, has there been nudity in a massive trailer release like that before? That took me by surprise.
There are
last time.
What are those like
red band
trailers? Which I don't see that often, honestly. And this didn't even have
the like warning, you know.
It just said uncensored. It said Babylon uncensored. So I was like, all right, TikTok's gonna block this one.
Yeah, I mean, it looks great. It looks. It really. I'm very intrigued. Like visually, it just looks so pleasing. The cast is really good. It's coming in at like a really long runtime. So listen, like 3 hours plus.
3 hours and 5 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Which is just.
You gotta. I feel like to have that long of a run, you gotta earn that.
I agree. It's big shoes to fill when you start reaching that 3 hour mark. You have to earn that.
I will say, 3 hours and 5 minutes talking about the Hollywood, I guess glory days, transition, whatever. It's reminding me of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and you guys know I don't love that movie. Mm-hmm. So I am going to be going into Babylon, a little nervous.
But that is completely different styles, though.
You can't compare Tarantino to Damien Chazelle, but either way, the story, the premise, the runtime, going to be a little nervous, but it's Whiplash, one of my favorites ever. I know Tyler, La La Land is one of your favorites ever. First Man is one of the most underrated films I've ever seen in my entire life. It's Damien Chazelle. I'm excited.
Yeah. On that note, though, with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood as well as Babylon, we'll also touch on Amsterdam later. Margot Robbie's filmography is developing into do people consider her one of the great actresses of today? Other than people, I feel like a lot of people consider like the hot girl in Wolf of Wall Street, but like don't realize like her filmography is like incredible now.
But like even though she was the hot girl in Wolf of Wall Street, she still put on an incredible performance, and I think she should have won Best Actress for I, Tonya.
She was one of the best things out of that film.
I, Tonya, she's so good at
so good in I, Tonya. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, she's great. I liked her in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I mean, she's just great.
She said all right. 5 words.
Yeah. And then next up, Maxxine's trailer. Somehow this movie franchise is getting a 3rd movie already. Sure. We'll be talking about Pearl later. Obviously, X came out earlier this year, and Maxxine's next year. It was a teaser trailer. Ty West and Mia Goth are coming back, who are both great, but
have we seen this before? Where they've had
Fear Street.
But that was a Netflix release.
That was a Netflix release. This is like theatrical release.
This is theatrical releases, yeah.
Well, think about it. It took them 2 weeks to write X. I'm pretty sure they were in New Zealand. They wrote X. They stopped filming X, and they were basically like, you know what? Like, we're here. Let's just write Pearl. Fuck it. Let's let Mia Goth do her thing. And they wrote Pearl. What's the budget on the movie? Nothing. There's no.
It's very low. Dude, it's very low.
Horror movies have such a good return too. So
yeah, exactly.
It's fine. Who cares? And then Park Chan-wook's Decision to Leave had a trailer. Decision to Leave, quick synopsis: a detective falls for a mysterious widow after she became a prime suspect in his latest murder investigation. Any thoughts on this, Seth? I know you're pumped.
Yeah, well, obviously, Oldboy is one of my favorite films of all time. I think.
Yeah.
If we're talking about perfect executed thrillers, Oldboy, he's also done Handmaiden, which is incredible as well. I don't know if you three have seen that.
I haven't seen it. I've heard it's great.
Again, just incredible. He's also done Thirst, which is fairly underrated. I don't know if too many people watch that. I believe the main actor in Decision to Leave is forgive me on the pronunciation here, it's probably going to be bad, but Park Hae-il, who is one of the main cast members in Memories of Murder, as well as the host. So 2 Bong Joon-ho films, which are also incredible. It's got a really good cast from what I've seen already. The opening reviews are looking quite good. I think it's got a 3.9 Letterboxd, about a 7.3, 7.4 on IMDb. Obviously, we'll have to wait and see. But so far, and given his previous films and how good they've been, and sort of the way he mixes romance into films as well, because it's obviously a drama romance. We saw that in Oldboy in a bit of a weird way, but we saw that in The Handmaiden. I think it's just going to be incredible. I think the color palette's going to be amazing. I think the editing's going to be amazing. I think it'll be a great story, but I'm just intrigued to see where he's going to go from it, because obviously he's known for the twists and turns as well, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, good.
The movie, just to add to the acclaim that we're seeing on this film, because again, Park Chan-wook dropped something, we're paying attention. It was selected to compete for the Palme d'Or at the 2022 Cannes, and he actually won Best Director for Decision to Leave. Which is just absolutely wild. And he, I'm pretty sure it was submitted as the South Korean entry to Best International Film at the upcoming Oscars, which is also an incredible feat. First trailer dropped. Obviously, it looks psychological. It looks like
one of his films.
It looks like something we're going to enjoy. The 3.9 on Letterboxd is very good to see. So yeah, very excited.
Yeah, good. I'm excited. I haven't seen The Handmaiden, but looks good.
Watch it definitely.
And then last trailer of note, Dahmer, Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story. So long ass title. It's directed by Ryan Murphy, starring Evan Peters and Niecy Nash.
That's a good casting.
Evan Peters. Well, yeah, yes. I mean, it's because he's a fucking creep in everything he does. So,
and it's by the writer.
He looks a little bit like Jeffrey Dahmer. Like he's got that kind of look, and I get it.
He's incredible.
But again, though, if we're going back to these serial killer films, like they've not exactly been great in the past, have they? These sort of.
That's what I was going to mention. I don't like Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil, and
I don't like.
It was like a really weirdly done.
They tried to
movie.
romanticize it almost. It was really odd. I didn't like the film at all.
I'm getting off topic. I like that aspect of that movie. I like the fact that we're kind of seeing this movie from the women's point of view, and they saw Ted Bundy as this romantic, non-serial killer, very down-to-earth guy who's just going to care for you and love you. And that kind of made me feel uncomfortable watching the movie, because that kind of put me in these women's shoes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's a great movie. I think I have it at 3 out of 5 stars, or maybe even a 2.5 out of 5 stars on Letterboxd. But I think that the decision to show that movie from the point of view of the women and show how they saw Ted Bundy, I thought that was a delight.
I get that.
I thought the trailer. I thought the trailer looked great. I think Evan Peters has, a very good chance of doing better in this role than Zac Efron did.
Zac Efron. Yeah.
But overall, I'm expecting it. Yeah, he wasn't bad, but I'm expecting Evan Peters to outperform him. But I still think the movies will be probably similar quality. I'm not expecting this to be anything better.
It's Ryan Murphy, right?
Yeah, he does American Horror Story. That's pretty much all he's done.
Mm-hmm. American Horror Story was great in the earlier seasons. I really enjoyed it. Enjoyed it.
One season, I think, with my wife.
Very hit or miss.
But that's the good thing about it, because you can just watch whichever season.
Yeah, Freak Show was great. I love the most recent one. What was it, like 1980?
I've seen it.
Is that the vampire one or something?
No, it was just the one where they're all in a summer camp. I thought it was great.
Nothing topped the original season for me, though.
No,
the mental asylum one. Do you not think?
I still think Murder House is the best season.
Same.
Oh, I thought the mental asylum one was best by far. I really enjoyed that.
We could do a whole separate episode that's strictly going through American
Every
Horror
single
Story.
one. Yeah.
But to your point, George, this is also like largely told from the points of his victims. So we could see something like extremely wicked, shockingly
Like
evil,
similar.
vile.
Yeah.
Another trailer, just real quick, want to touch on is I Want to Dance with Somebody, the Whitney Houston biopic. Probably going to be relatively similar to every other biopic we've ever gotten of anyone. But it's an exciting movie. Naomi Ackie's playing Whitney Houston. It's directed, I believe, by Casey Lemons is how you pronounce it. So yeah, that's another trailer we got this week. But real quick, want to just move on to the Emmys. Just going to run through them. This is a movie, TV show, pop culture pod. So just want to run through a couple hitters. You guys can just shut me up and if you want to talk about anything, but I'm going to run through the big things. I put this point 1 because I love it. Ted Lasso's goated, best actor in a comedy series, best supporting actor, and best series in a comedy series. Also, sorry to note, sorry to get off topic, I hate how the Emmys do like comedy, drama, and then what else do they do? Something else. I hate it. Just put it all in one. Doesn't matter. That's beside the point. White Lotus, kind of cleaned up. It's an outstanding limited series. Supporting actor and actress in a limited series. Outstanding writing in a limited series. I've never seen it. Must be good though.
No.
Is it all right? Oh, you?
Yeah, I've not never seen it.
Okay,
No.
Yeah. Succession wins best drama series. Heard that's a great show. Again, have never seen it. Zendaya is the youngest 2-time winner. Squid Games becomes the first non-English show to win a Primetime Emmy for Best Actor and Best Guest Actress in a Drama. Lee Jung-jae and Lee Yu-mi. And then Quinta Brunson, who wrote The Elementary School, won Best Writing in Drama Series. And that Abbott Elementary. Thank you. That's actually a show I've seen. So how I'm forgetting that is tough. And then the biggest note is Better Call Saul is 0 for 47 in Emmy wins. Again, I've never seen it. I'm not.
We need Ricardo on here. We got to get Ricardo on here for like a. I just want to.
I'm not getting him on it. It's not, all I'll speak about is me being a dwarf
the entire time.
All I'll speak about is me being 4'9" and how much he loves Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. I'm not having him on here.
No, but yeah,
I mean, it did surprise me that Better Call Saul didn't. It really surprised me. That
never won.
0 for 47 just is. That's because there's a lot of people, not just Ricardo, that consider Better Call Saul in the same exact realm, if not higher than Breaking Bad.
Mm-hmm. I understand that because I mean I haven't seen the latest season, but I've seen up to that, and I think the writing of the show itself. I think a lot of people will say Breaking Bad's better because it's faster paced, because it's more exciting in the earlier seasons. But I think there's definitely an argument to say that Better Call Saul is potentially even better. Obviously it's going to be preference like everything, but I get where people are coming from when they'd say that anyway.
So definitely, so you would agree that you're pretty surprised that it's 0 for 47 on Emmy nominations throughout. There's never won an Emmy. Every time it's nominated, it loses.
It's insane.
100%. It's mental. Yeah, I don't get it at all.
But going back to Jason Sudeikis and Ted Lasso, just seems like another common Jason Sudeikis W, while Olivia Wilde's taking a common Olivia Wilde L.
I guess, sure.
Yeah.
Have you followed their relationship drama? Like, did you see how he served her like the adoption papers?
Yeah.
I don't believe that's him. I think that was a lawyer move. Jason Sudeikis is too good for that.
No, I think the way that happens is you just serve someone legally and then you just leave it at that. And then the job of the court is just to find them whenever they can. So like, oh, they're at this event. Like doing it on stage, wild move by the lawyer. Seems like they wanted
lawyer move.
7 moments of spotlight.
Not King Jason Sudeikis.
No, not blaming King Jason Sudeikis.
Yeah.
He deserves Emmys, though.
Reboots and sequels.
Well, I just want to
you're good.
Sorry, Better Call Saul. So in doing research for this episode, I actually found some interesting things. So Better Call Saul joins a pretty long list of amazing, relatively well-acclaimed TV shows that do not have Emmys. The Wire, 2 nominations, 0 wins. I've never seen The Wire, but I have yet to see a top 10 list that does not include The Wire. Yeah. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, 3 nominations, 0 wins. BoJack Horseman, 5 nominations. Parks and Recreations, 14 nominations. New Girl, 5 nominations, and Star Trek, 13 nominations. So the Emmys is no strangers to snubbing great.
So just touching on that, like, do you notice what you said though? Like 2, 3, 5, 14, and then 47.
Yeah, 47.
That's crazy.
Massive drop.
That's insane.
I'm actually running through Parks and Rec right now again. Just great show. Such a good show. I love it.
Parks and Rec. I love watching Parks and Rec just to see where like Chris Pratt began his
career.
Yeah. I think it's
then he just gets jacked one season.
So funny.
Yeah, it's great. Anything else to note in the Emmys? You can move on. Got a lot of sequel reboot news this week. So Joker 2 will be told from the perspective of Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn. Also, obviously, going to be a musical. Interesting. If they're going to do a sequel, this kind of sounds like one of the best ways to go about it, as to not make it just a cliche sequel.
I would agree. Yeah, I think this is the best way they could possibly go about it. And it's really intriguing me, but I'm not too optimistic at the same time. It's a bit of a weird one. I'm not quite sure what to expect, but I do think they've gone about it in the best possible way with how they're approaching it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, and George has talked about this a ton of times. Like, do you actually want this Joker sequel?
No.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of movies are unnecessary. This one feels like one of the most unnecessary just because of how good Joker 1 was. But a lot of people were calling for it, and it made a lot of money. So like we said, this is a good way to go about it, I think. It's interesting. It's different. It'll be good to see. There's a new Karate Kid movie coming out June 7th, 2024. I'm going to take a shot in the dark and say it's a dude who doesn't know how to fight, meets someone in China and learns how to fight.
Gets beaten up by a bully.
Yeah. Like, that's just and maybe there's a Justin Bieber song at the end.
How much can they rinse that anymore? I don't think they need to like
make it the karate man or something.
Do any of you watch Cobra Kai? Because that show's massively popular, but it's just never even for a second appealed to me.
Yeah.
No, I've never seen it.
Can I just like run through a quick vent real quick?
Yes.
Yeah, is this about sequels and soft reboots?
It's just why?
Yeah.
Why do we need
money?
This is gonna
be
talks. This is gonna be what, the 6th Karate Kid movie? You know how many Karate Kid movies have been good? Zero have been good.
I think
one has been average.
The
first one was average. I don't care.
I think the original first one's good. I think it's okay. The first
and it's beyond. It's past fucking Karate Kid. Sorry for cursing, Mom, when you're listening to this. It's past the Karate Kid. Why do we need a Joker 2? I know we just glossed past Joker, but Joker 1 ended so brilliantly. It opened so many conversations. It left so many possibilities for, what happened. Was this real? The clock on the wall, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Well,
you go, Seth. You got it.
I was just going to say that, like, I'm obviously, like Cam said it, like, how good Joker 1 was. I'm quite the contrary belief to that. I don't think Joker 1 was that good. I mean, that's just my opinion. Like, I think it was a really good film, but I don't think it was like that highest tier a lot of people have it at. But at the same time, I think that, like George said, it ended at such a point where there was so much room for interpretation. Why make another one to answer certain questions we want to make our own assumptions about? It doesn't make any sense to me. I agree with George there. I think it's pointless.
It makes sense. It makes sense from a money standpoint.
From a money, but this is how the world works.
Joker was nominated for 11 Oscars. It won 2. It's the first R-rated movie to gross over $1 billion. It was, I think, one of the 5 highest grossing films of 2019.
2019, yeah.
When you have a movie as successful as that, you're gonna make a sequel regardless of what people want. But like, opposite to Seth, I consider Joker one of the greats. I have it at number 2 on my all-time comic book rank. Seth, I have it above like Come and See on my all-time rank, which I know is going to bother you. I have it above a lot of all-time great movies. I think it's such a technically just perfect film that I love so much. I like, and I will echo what Cam said, I like that they're going a different direction, making it a musical, telling it from the perspective of Harley Quinn, just so that it's not a carbon copy of
I think
Joker
they
1.
They had to go a different direction, didn't they? Because the backlash would have been even worse if it was just a complete follow along from the same period.
Yeah.
And my thing, and sorry to cut you off, Todd. One more thing. I love Todd Phillips. I do. I trust him as a filmmaker. The Hangover did not need 2 sequels, and we saw what happened in that franchise in I was about to say episodes 2 and 3, in movies 2 and 3.
Yeah.
I think the second one was still really funny. I will get that in there. They used every plot point exactly the same, but it was still hilarious.
Yeah,
it was
right.
Still funny.
That's what I was actually going to touch on. So George led into that perfectly. Is that I trust Todd Phillips, and before last time we saw him to do a sequel, He literally just, like Seth said, same exact plot. So it's nice to see them do something totally different for Joker 2. So it's not just Todd Phillips saying, like, let's do the same thing again in a different country. Let's put Joker in England and do the same thing.
It wasn't even like me and Hannah. Anna. Actually
Oh, no.
Wow. Cut that out. Cut that out.
Yeah.
We watched Hangover 2 like fairly recently because I just wanted something easier on. And it is hilarious how it's not even just the same plot. Every little detail, like Alan has to look after a kid, he looks after a monkey. Something happens to Stu. Stu goes off with someone and someone, whatever, and it's the same thing in each film. But I think that is the thing with Todd Phillips' comedy in those films. Like it's not a good film, but it still works in the way it wants to. So much
they're funny,
yeah, they are funny. I mean, the third one was like.
I liked the third one still, like not in terms of a movie, but I thought the joke still landed for me. I still laughed out loud.
At least they changed.
I'm kind of on the opposite train. I really dislike like the second two Hangovers.
They're under 5 out of 10s for me. But I'm saying the comedy.
I don't even find them funny, really. I actually,
screw you.
I have them higher than a 5 out of 10. The second 55 out of 100, whatever. But I don't find it funny. Also, just back to Joker because obviously I have to. So I'm in the middle ground between George and Seth. I think it's an incredible movie. It's not a Joker movie. That's like one of my biggest issues. I've made a video back before like George and I knew each other of stitching George's like how much he wants Batman and the Joker to meet. The Joker's getting fucked in 3 seconds. Sorry. He's literally getting a backhand and just dead on impact from Robert Pattinson's Batman. Like it would be a minute fight. So that's just my opinion. And I don't think he's that smart either. He just kind of falls his way upwards. So like he can't like outsmart Batman. It doesn't matter. Just a random.
Sorry, can I just clarify as well? People seem to think I hate Joker. I really don't.
No, I know.
I have no. With people on TikTok, I'll say like I didn't like it with other people. Oh, why did you hate it? I give it a 4 out of 5.
Yeah,
I think it's like a really good film. I just don't have it in the highest regard that George does, for example.
That's the tough thing about criticizing great movies is like when you're criticizing like a movie in the IMDb top 100 or a great film, everyone knows it's great. So when you're critiquing it, you're gonna focus on the stuff like why you don't think it's perfect because like obviously everyone knows it's like it's an amazing movie. So I'm not gonna like tell you about everything you already know. I'm gonna say like this, and this is kind of what knocks it down a bit for me. But then it makes it sound like you're hating on it. But it's just a weird thing.
And then people just assume that because you're saying it's not as good as people think that you hate it. And it's like
right.
It's not really
And then
one more thing on Joker that does give me a little bit of hope. The first movie had a budget of like 55 to 70 million. Joker 2 has a budget of 150 million, almost double the first.
I mean, it made $1 billion.
It has the money to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And then lastly, on the sequels talk, Ridley Scott is working on a Blade Runner 2099 series for Amazon. I love 2049, so I'm a little scared with this one, but you guys can give your opinions on it.
I'm in the same boat.
I love 2049.
I hold 2049 to such high regard. It's in my top 20 films all time in general. I think it is a beautiful piece of science fiction storytelling. So I'm with you in being nervous. And I feel like everything we've been talking about, I say I'm nervous about.
Yeah, but it's gonna be it's films that you love and make.
Yeah, exactly.
So you don't want to.
Yeah,
but I haven't even seen Blade Runner yet. So,
Tyler, have you seen Blade Runner 2049?
Yeah, so kind of just my notes I put in here is I enjoyed them, but I know people that are fans of them are mega uber fans. I don't fall into that category. I don't think I'm just as into sci-fi as those people. But like I very much enjoyed the film, but I'm not in the camp of George where like you love them so much. But so 2099 is not going to be something that release day I'm waiting and refreshing my screen. But if George watches it and says like, oh, it's pretty great, I might give it a watch. But I'm not really planning on watching it.
That was like my opinions with the original Blade Runner. I liked it, but I wasn't in that kind of cult. They have a massive cult following. Like the original one, especially.
I don't love the original as much.
I like it.
I still think it's a very good movie.
I get that.
Blade Runner 2049 is so great, and it's most likely we haven't gotten like any information on this, but I'm 99% sure Ryan Gosling will not be coming back for this. It's going to be its own thing. Ryan Gosling is what makes 2049 like as good as it is. He's so good. He's so good. And he like wrote that interrogation scene, I believe, where he's in that like white room. I don't remember the movie perfectly, but I think he wrote that scene. So good. So good.
It gives me hope that Michael Green is also coming back to be an executive producer. He wrote 2049, which is a good sign, but it's just lack of news right now. We don't know enough about this to be excited. Did you guys ever watch I think it was the Adult Swim anime Blade Runner show? I think it was called like Black Lotus or something. I never saw it. I know people hold that in high regard, but obviously this is going to be the first live action Blade Runner show. And again, opposite you guys, I hold the OG Blade Runner at such high regard. I'm such a sucker when it comes to science fiction. You guys know this by now. Both Blade Runners are in my top like 30 of all time.
Great villain, but
Cam, before we leave reboots and sequels, I saw this in the miscellaneous portion of the outline, but I think it fits in well here. So George, you're very anti cash grab sequels that we don't need. Do you have that same energy for Creed 3?
I do.
No, this is
stop. Hold on. Hold. Pause. I consider Creed, and I understand that my sports rankings, if you were to look at my top 10, it's very different from other people. I don't necessarily love the sports genre. I talk about that quite often on my page. I hold Creed very highly. I'm pretty sure it's like in my top 5 sports movies of all time. I think it is one of the best soft reboots, legacy sequels I've ever seen. I think it is a fantastic bit of filmmaking. I think Creed 2 is almost just as good. I don't need a trilogy.
But I don't find this as egregious. I like you said, I love Creed. I don't have it as high as the original Rocky, but like it's right there. It's like a 96 and a 93 for me. Like I love Creed. It's so damn good. And then the second, I have like an 89 or 87, I guess. It also so good. It's not there, but it also lost Ryan Coogler, who I've said time and time again is like one of the best filmmakers out there right now. This, I don't know. I'm amped for it, man. Jonathan Majors looks fucking huge. Like he is, that picture of him is absurd. Like how big he is.
I've seen that picture float around Twitter so often with the caption, "This man really about to body the Avengers."
Yeah, dude.
Was it Creed 2 or Creed 1 that had the desert training scene? That was Creed 2, right?
Creed 2.
All-time training montage. That's all time before the gym. Watch that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
They are great movies. They are, but I do fear that it's going to eventually, because after the original Rocky, I don't think any of the Rockies are necessarily great movies. I think some of them are very good. And I just don't want to see Creed fall into that spectrum because of how much I love 1 and 2 and how highly I hold 1 and 2.
Yep.
So,
and the news with that is Canelo Alvarez was cast in Creed 3. I don't know, Seth. I know you're a big fighting fan, so.
No, I'm UFC. I don't really watch boxing.
Okay, that makes sense then. And then, this I guess can add to it. This I feel like is a cash grab a lot more than Creed 3. Magic Mike 3 will now have a theatrical release, February 10th, 2023. Yes. It was coming to streaming on HBO Max, but now it's getting a theatrical release.
Thank God. I was worried. I didn't want to see it straight to streaming. Yeah,
I don't care.
Couldn't give less of a shit, man.
But the movie, you know, it's gonna make so much money.
Good for it. Yeah,
you know it's gonna make so much money.
Will it though?
Like, do you know how many women are gonna?
Horny moms, man. Horny moms got money to burn.
Oh my God.
The first Magic Mike is good. The second, not so much, in my opinion.
I haven't seen the second one, to be honest. I haven't got interest in it. The first one was alright.
First one is a good movie.
Yeah, I really like the first, and then I think the second was a cash grab, and I think this is even more of a cash grab.
Yeah.
And any other thoughts on just sequels and reboots in general? I know it's a heated discussion. I'm a firm believer that like if you make a good sequel or reboot, I'm gonna be okay with it. But I'll never say like a movie's unnecessary, because no movies are necessary. Like they could just not make movies. But I don't know, like Toy Story 1, 2, and 3 are amazing. Toy Story 4 is very good, so I'm not mad they made a fourth, and it gives a good send off for Woody. So
I Toy Story wise, I am a bit mad because I think the original Toy Story you can't really count as a trilogy anymore. That would have gone down,
I guess.
as like one of the GOAT trilogies in my opinion.
I still
So the
count it
fourth-
as one.
You can't though.
I still count it as one.
But
Yeah.
you can't because it's 4 films.
I get you.
Seth, that'd be such a
Yeah.
great troll because I know you hold Lord of the Rings in such a high esteem and the greatest trilogy of all time. But if you just use that as a troll, be like,
Oh yeah.
Toy Story would be my number 1 trilogy of all time, but because they had the fourth, it's Lord of the
Because
Rings.
there's a fourth one.
Yeah.
Remember the that's not ridiculous. That's not ridiculous to say that. I used that audio and said Toy Story is one of the greatest trilogies of all time. So I have done exactly that, Tyler. Yeah, so that's sequels and reboots. Yeah, it's a mess, but who knows? Maybe we'll get some good ones. There's a lot of miscellaneous news items. We'll just run through them real quick. Kaylee Spaney will be playing Priscilla Presley, and Jacob Elordi will be playing Elvis Presley in the new A24 movie directed by Sofia Coppola. Priscilla, not really anything there other than, I guess, move aside Austin Butler. Jacob Elordi is a good-looking dude, and I really like him. So hopefully that's great. Kaylee Spaney, I don't really know a whole lot about.
I just think there's no shot Jacob Elordi fills Austin Butler's shoes. Like in terms of looks wise of a cast, Jacob Elordi's a great casting, and I'd imagine Priscilla. It's an A24 film, and also it's more about Priscilla's life. It's going to be vastly different than Baz Luhrmann's Elvis. So I don't think Jacob Elordi needs the same skill set Austin Butler has. But yeah, it's weird because I don't know if we were talking about it. I don't know if someone said on TikTok or in our group chat how it's weird how these things just. I think Cam, you said it. Things just don't happen, and then all of a sudden, we're getting Pinocchio like out the wazoo. We're getting so much Pinocchio content, and now we're getting so much Elvis. Like it's weird how things come in batches like this.
Yeah. Here's the this isn't a real movie news item of the day. David Harbour is going to be coming out in Violent Night.
What are we doing?
Yeah, a movie where I believe like robbers like go into a house when Santa's there. David Harbour is
yeah.
And we also Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Now we got Santa Claus, who's going to be the defender of the night. What are we doing?
This is not a real movie. Like
what I will say though is Winnie the Pooh is being marketed as a genuine horror thriller, is it not?
It is.
Whereas the Santa one is a dark comedy. That's what it's being marketed as. So
it's gonna be bad.
It'll be a bad, but it might be a so bad it's good rather than Winnie the Pooh that might just be a terrible attempt at a horror. Yeah. They've marketed it as a comedy, so they're probably going down the right route, knowing this will probably be shit. Let's just market it as a comedy for the sake of it.
I will say though, I'm excited for both.
Yeah, I'll watch both, 100%.
Yeah. I love Christmas movies. I'm excited. I don't care if it's campy or whatever. Campy. I don't even know exactly how to use that term.
I mean, Christmas has to be campy, right?
Right.
But I don't know what does campy even mean. Like, I don't.
Corny, kind of dumb, but
self-aware.
But like, so I grew up in Minnesota, which again for you UK folks is like the northern north of America. Fargo's in North Dakota. Well, it takes place in Minnesota. Fargo, that movie, it's on my wall. I love that movie. That movie has done so many negative things for the accents of Minnesotans that I will never forgive it. Because every time in my adult life, I'm like, I'm from Minnesota. I'll say it like that. Hi, I'm from Minnesota. Oh, you're from Minnesota. I'm like, no. I said I'm from Minnesota. Like, I pronounced it normally. So that movie has set Minnesotans back for decades. But anyways, I grew up in Minnesota. Snowy, love snow, and then since then I've moved down south to Texas and Arizona over the past 4 years. I don't see snow. I don't get a lick of it. So I love any snow stuff. It's my comfort. The show Lilyhammer, Eurovision, anything with snow is just comforting for me. So I'm all in for anything Christmas, anything snowy. And I love David Harbour, so what's not to love?
Yeah.
Quick one. What's everyone's favorite Christmas movie? I won't take too much time on it, but I just want to know.
Elf.
Die Hard.
Christmas movie. It's not a Christmas movie.
This classic film bro response.
Yeah. No, it's a very classic. Yeah, I want to get a stir up right now. Die Hard's a Christmas movie.
It is a Christmas movie.
No, that's fine. I'm at the point. I think the world's at the point. Everyone agrees. No one cares anymore.
No, I don't.
Oh, of course. Of course you don't.
This is what George wants. Don't play into it.
It's just an argument that's been run straight. Listen, I can give you the parallels of Die Hard and Home Alone. They are the same movie, just different execution. All right.
Sure. It's funny because mine is Home Alone as well. I think Home Alone is the GOAT Christmas movie. It's amazing.
My favorite.
Mine's I
think Home Alone 2 is better than Home Alone 1.
It's also great. I don't think it's better, but it's also great. The third is a wild.
Remakes and reboots. Don't.
All right, I'm
Home
gonna
Alone
be
3 and
stealing
4.
this. I think this is a big lights camera podcast thing. I think I've heard them talk about. Have you guys ever heard the description of Home Alone 3?
No.
Give me 1 second. Also, Scarlett Johansson's in Home Alone 3. When an inept group of criminals tries to get a stolen top secret computer chip through airport security, it ends up in a toy car in the luggage of elderly Miss Hess. Unable to properly retrieve their chip, the felons follow Hess in the car to her neighborhood. After she gives the toy to a young Alex Pruitt, who is homesick from school, he becomes the target of criminals. However, the precautious kid is onto their schemes and ready to fight off thieves. The first Home Alone is just like robbers. This is like international spies.
Yeah.
Is this the most recent Home Sweet Home Alone that came out?
No. This is Home Alone 3.
Is 3 and 4, isn't it? Yeah.
There's a third after one.
Fourth? There's a fourth?
Yeah, there's a Home Alone 4. I haven't seen it.
I didn't know there was a Home Alone 4.
The third doesn't have Macaulay Culkin.
No, this third is not Macaulay Culkin. Neither is the fourth. But it's just we've moved on to international spies. Are now officially in the Home Alone universe. Last piece of news. We're running a bit. Last piece of news. Pour one out. Bid farewell. Millie Alcock and Emily Carey. This will be their last episode of House of the Dragon tonight. As Alicent Hightower and Rhaenyra Targaryen, not respectively. Don't know why I did it backwards, but I don't know. It's not a spoiler. The show takes a 10-year time jump.
I'm kind of sad about that. I think that Millie.
Dude, they're so good.
She's
I
so good.
I agree.
It's kind of big shoes to fill. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm kind of bummed about that, but yeah. So bid farewell to them, and now let's hop right into some movie reviews. We'll start off with the Woman King. In the 1800s, a group of all-female warriors protects the African kingdom of Dahmer with skills and fierceness unlike anything the world has ever seen. Faced with a new threat, Naniska trains the next generation of recruits to fight against a foreign enemy that's determined to destroy their way of life. It dropped this past Friday, directed by Gina Prince Bythewood, if I'm not mistaken, obviously starring Viola Davis, John Boyega's in it, Lashana Lynch, a lot of other names. But who wants to start? Who wants to give their thoughts on The Woman King? Anyone available? We'll start with Tyler. Sorry, Seth.
I'll take it because I figured George will want to be the one to hop on Pearl first. But
I'll get Pearl.
Yeah, of course. I was gonna send it to George.
Yeah, Woman King. I thought it was very good. I thought it felt overly long. I felt like it dragged a bit, and kind of we talked about this in our group chat, and I think Cam at least gave me a reaction on it. So Nawe's love interest in the movie, Malik, who's played by Jordan Bolger. I hadn't seen him in anything. He was by far the worst part of the movie because the movie was full of stellar acting performances. Viola Davis and Tuso Mbedo deserve best main actress roles for this film. I thought they were absolutely incredible. Even Lashana Lynch, best supporting actress, she could get a supporting. But so everyone was just so good. And then Jordan Bolger as that Malik who came with the slave traders, it just felt like a soap opera, and it bogged down the movie, it ruined the pacing. So that like dragged it down for me. And then I also found it was weird that the trailers all said that it was like supposed to be a gladiator. That's what this movie was supposed to is. This generation's gladiators, I think what the trailer said before in theaters. And I didn't get that. I made a wild comparison on my Letterboxd that it almost felt like, way different genres, but almost felt like Kingsman, where you get a bunch of recruits and the whole movie is them getting narrowed down, weaned down in the pack all the way until you kind of get the final people who graduate. Went through that brutal final course where they went through those thorns that was hard to watch for me when that looked brutal. But overall, I very much enjoyed it. Great acting performances. Pacing I thought was not the best. Some of the fight choreography was a little over the top, but I think I'm a little sensitive to those things. Like if I see someone snap their arm in a fight, then I see them move that arm at all, it just kind of takes me a little out of the moment. But I'll stop my rant there. I thought it was overall very good. I gave it a 7.7 out of 10. Just could have been like 30 minutes shorter.
Yeah, you got it, George.
I just want to touch on. I echo everything. Obviously, you say, Tyler. I have it at 4 out of 5, around 80%. I think it is a good bit of filmmaking. I do agree with what you said. I just want to touch on. You guys know I'm a big technical aspects of a film kind of guy. I had the treat of watching this movie in the Dolby Theater, and it was an absolute spectacle. So I just want to mention that from a production standpoint, I think this movie really excelled, from the production design to the costume design to the cinematography, even the score. It was brutal. It was fierce. It was intoxicating. I do think the movie has some screenplay issues. It ran probably a half hour longer, just like you said, Tyler, than it had to. I think we could have cut out the entire love story and just kept this dialed into a character study, because I know I'm not going to go into spoilers actually, but there was one specific storyline that I was genuinely intrigued by, and it got a significant emotion out of me. The two of you that have seen the movie probably know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I think that one storyline could have been the forefront of the emotional side of this movie. I think we could have cut out all of that romantic stuff with that one slave trader. I do think that brought down the film a little bit for me. But overall, it's in my top 20 of the year. I've seen, I think, like 70 new releases, so I do hold it pretty highly. I have it at 4 out of 5 on Letterboxd, and I love technical films, and this was a fun watch.
Yeah, I don't want to like harp too much on what you guys said, but I'll say I fucking love this movie. I think it was very, very good. I really did enjoy it. My only issue was the relationship subplot, and my issue with it is the fact that I'm not what's her name? I'm so sorry, I forget.
Tuso and Beto, Naui.
Yeah, Naui. Her relationship with him, I thought was weird in the sense that she looks like 14 and he looks like 28. That's what kind of threw me. I was like, this is disgusting. I hate this. Also, I don't it's going to be like the smallest spoiler. And here's one thing I'll say. Please let us know if you want spoilers or if you don't want spoilers. We didn't know before this episode. This is obviously our first review. We can split it into parts, whatever. The smallest spoiler. I don't love that they gave him a redemptive arc. Kind of wish just kind of got fucking killed. If I'm being honest, I just kind of wish like one of the Viola Davis like snapped his neck or something. One thing I'll say about it is you kind of touched on like best actress. Lashana Lynch is so good in this movie. I absolutely loved her. That was like my biggest note, is like she's stealing the show for me. Obviously Viola Davis was incredible. This is like such a nitpick point. The movie opening monologue left the screen before she was done. I was like,
oh my God.
I was so confused. I was like, I was trying to read and keep up.
I thought I was the only one that noticed that. I was looking around.
That was so weird to me. Maybe it wasn't a nitpicky thing, but I thought that was so odd.
I was trying to read as fast as possible.
Yeah, but I'm also listening. So I don't know if you guys do this. I also I kind of struggle in movies. I watch everything with subtitles. I watch everything.
I've always everything.
Yeah, I watch everything with subtitles. So I kind of struggled like keeping up with this thing. And when she was reading it, I'm trying to read it with her, and then it's gone. I'm like, oh, okay, what happened here? Also, I can't read, so I'm just struggling in general. A couple things to mention, so I have this at an 89 out of 100. I gotta like mess with my yearly ratings. They're getting a little odd, so I'll probably move things up and down. We'll see where it falls, but for now, an 89 out of 100, a 4.5 out of 5 on Letterboxd. I really did enjoy it. One thing to note, I don't think this was a new story from a very broad spectrum, right? Like they're training a bunch of people to fight in a war. It didn't feel like a very new story, but it was done so well. I really enjoyed it. And then to the fight choreography point, Tyler, there was one point where I believe it's Lashana Lynch's character, like someone swings a sword at her from the back, and like he's very close to her, but then like he kind of like just barely cuts her. And I was like a little taken out by that. I was like, what the hell just happened? Like, because then she obviously just turns around and beats the shit out of him. But I was like, it was just a very small cut, and he was like a foot and a half away from her. She was turned around, just kill her. But that's just. Other than that, I thought the fight choreography was insane. I really enjoyed it.
The fight choreography was great, but I hate myself for being nitpicky about it. Like, I wish I could just watch it and be like, this is so cool, epic. Give me unrealistic things. Do anything you want because it's so fun to watch. Like when they're twirling and doing all that crazy stuff. But like, again, this isn't a spoiler. When like a bullet shot at you and you just block it out of the way with a sword. For me, I wish I could just be like, that was so badass and cool. Really? But I can't. Like, for me, it just takes me out of it. I know it's a musket and it's slow, but still, like, come on.
You watch a certain amount of films and you kind of build up this. criticisms that just come out without even wanting it to.
Right.
Because you've watched so many action, choreographed things. When small things happen like that, I'm the same. I'll pick it out, and it's kind of annoying because you don't really want to, but then you've got it in the back of your head that it's there. I think it's just something that comes with watching a lot of films over time. I think most people do it now. That's the thing.
Yeah, I don't know. That's something that I'm kind of opposite. I watch and I'm like, that's fucking sick.
I wish I could. I wish. Yeah.
And this is a conversation George and I had like very small after he saw it. I can't stress enough how quickly I'd fold in any sort of sword fight or fight in general. Like if I get like smacked in the face, I'm throwing my sword down and pledging allegiance to whoever did that. Like I would fold so damn quickly. I'd be on my knees for Viola Davis. Like if she like walked up to me, be like, you're right. That's my bad. Like, yeah, but that's beside the point. Any other points from The Woman King? This is kind of a quick review. Maybe if we did like a spoilers-free and spoiler section, we could go into it a little bit more in depth. I had one other. Oh yeah,
you go for it. I had one. Okay, well, this is just kind of a broader conversation about Woman King in general. We don't have to go too down the rabbit hole, but I haven't dove into this very deeply. But I heard from quite a few reviews and people that it's based on real life story, but wildly different than what actually happens. I'm just wondering if you guys care when a movie's based on real life and it doesn't follow what actually happens. Does that bother you or no? Because for me personally, make me a good movie. If you're fluffing some stuff or revisionist history, I'm fine with it. Just give me like a good movie. I don't care too much when it strays from real life, but I wonder what you guys think.
Not usually, but it did in Hacksaw Ridge. That's the only thing I can think of where it actually bothered me. But usually, no. If it's a good film and I enjoy it, then I'm not really that bothered. That's it.
Yeah, I'm exactly what you both did. Give me a good film and I'm set. The thing is, I don't think any movie ever that has been based on a true story has been 100% accurate. You can nitpick little
you have to
embellish it in order to make it fit for a feature film. Trust me, when I posted my Woman King review on TikTok, my comments were flooded with, go research the actual story. You won't like the movie as much. And I don't know. I don't want to sound disrespectful, but like, no.
I'm not going to do that.
Like,
Thank you, though.
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it depends on the tone as well. Like if it's something like it's a serious, true part of history, I think sometimes, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but if there's things that are really historically inaccurate, it kind of annoys me sometimes. Like it happens in a lot of war films and stuff like that. But I think you can try and separate it and just understand that people are just trying to enjoy a film. It just depends on how you look at it.
A lot of people I know were pissed off with Elvis just recently for kind of, embellishing Elvis and making him this, I guess, great guy on screen and not really touching on the fact that, Priscilla was 13 when they met, or he was sleeping around, not touching on all of like the dark R-rated aspects of his life. So
that's all biopics, though. That's just how biopics.
Yeah,
I was gonna bring up Bohemian Rhapsody is like outrageously. I think it has a lot other problems, and maybe I only care because like I know a fair amount about Queen. I really like Queen. Like I don't really like Elvis all that much, so I didn't notice it. But like Bohemian Rhapsody is like absurdly off, and that kind of distracts me. But maybe if I don't know about it, it doesn't.
It depends how much you care on the subject, doesn't it? That's always going to be that way.
Maybe, I guess. Yeah. This was PG-13, right? Yeah. This is like how you do PG-13 action, I think too. It had like grit and some blood and stuff, but like you don't have to go. You don't have to go. So like you don't have to make an R-rated action movie just if you want blood and like sweat and nitty gritty like action movie, but you also don't have to go the Marvel route where every death is off screen. I'm gonna shoot you and you're not gonna bleed at all. Like I think this is like a perfect way to do a PG-13 action. I think they really found what they wanted here.
I thought it was rated R, so yeah, if it's it was PG-13. So yeah, you're totally right. They nailed it. There's some brutal action sequences and there's some gory, some stuff that kind of makes you shield your eyes, like, oh, that's tough to watch. So doing that in a PG-13 movie, yeah, absolutely agree.
This
is how you do it.
For any for any UK listeners, I believe a PG-13 is a 12.
Oh,
And
sure.
is it
R's 15. R's 15.
RA 15. Yeah.
It's funny because we can roll our eyes and like laugh, but looking at our analytics, it's legitimately like 44% of our audience is UK. So
good job, Seth. Shout out.
No,
Seth.
I've got like a lot of my followers are American anyway, so I don't know if it's just me. I think
This
is the film community on TikTok is quite small anyway, so you tend to just go around.
It's also funny. I think R-rated is 17 here, if I'm not mistaken. So it's
is there no 18?
Like it's a 2-year difference.
2 year difference. I was going to ask.
Yeah,
that.
it's a little odd. And then like PG-13, obviously 13 versus 12.
12.
You guys probably just mature more over there.
Well, we do. No,
I sure as hell haven't matured yet, so who knows? Yeah, and sorry. Last point doesn't not about the movie in any way. And this again is probably just my Marvel stand. I love the move where like a guy is running at someone and then they like wrap around him and like flip him over. It's something like they did a bunch in this, and like obviously like Black Widow does it. I love
that's
that.
a Marvel thing, you know.
It probably is. I love that move. It's my favorite. It's awesome every time. Any other points on the Woman King? Want to move on to Pearl?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Yeah. Pearl trapped on her family's isolated farm. Pearl must tend to her ailing father under the bitter and overbeating watch of her devout mother. Hoping for a more glamorous life, Pearl's ambitions, temptations, and repressions all collide to a horrific event. Directed by Ty West, obviously, it is the prequel to X, which again came out earlier this year. Mia Goth helped screenwrite this with Ty West. Mia Goth, obviously, in the penultimate role, right? That's the word. Pearl. So, George, what are your thoughts?
This is just like slowly becoming just like one of my favorite horror trilogies. I think I hold X a little higher than most people. I think it's a really solid entry to A24's horror, especially dipping into the slasher elements. What I love about Pearl and what I hopefully will love about Joker 2 is that it's not a carbon copy of X. This is, and anyone that has not seen the movie, Seth directed right at you. This is not a slasher film. I'll tell you that right now. This is a deep character study about a woman just going through a lot of shit. And I fucking love that. It made for a lot of uncomfortable filmmaking, a lot of uncomfortable scenes of tension. You guys know how much I love me some uncomfortable horror. I also love that this is just Ty West just experimenting with everything, with his filmmaking techniques, with what he wants Mia Goth to do on screen, with his screenwriting. They gave him a camera. They say, make the movie you want to fucking make. Sorry for cursing again.
You're fine. I think we're past that at this point. Man.
People listening getting really angry every time you do it.
We're screwed.
But yeah, I think Ty West is onto something really cool here. Did I love the movie? No, I have it at a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I do like X more because of the fact that it is through and through a slasher film. And trust me, we are no stranger to slashings in Pearl. She do be doing some slashings. She does kill some people, without a doubt. There's also and I want to just shout out Mia Goth. If the Oscars were today, she's getting a nomination. In my book, personally, I would nominate her. She has a 6-minute, this is no spoiler, Seth, so don't worry. She has this 6-minute or just about 6-minute monologue at the end of the movie. The camera is literally on her face for 6 minutes straight. There's not one cut. She runs through every single emotion a human being has. It is brilliant to watch. And then, Tyler, you posted it on your story, that end credit roll, where she's just staring at the screen. It's brilliant, and I love a good bit of horror. And I think Ty West and Mia Goth, because they are co-writing these movies, they're onto something awesome here.
Have you seen the reviews? Because what surprised me is that Pearl's got like a 3.9 on Letterboxd, whereas X had like a 3.6.
I know.
It's rare that you find that. It's very rare that you find that.
I think I'm in the minority, honestly, and liking X more than Pearl. I know a lot of our fellow creators are taking Pearl over X, but again, for me, it just comes down to the fact that Pearl is a character study. X is a full-on slasher, and I just love that in X. I love just the gross nature of this slasher film. The entire second half was just Pearl in X, just going dummy, and I loved it. And that's not to take away from from Pearl, because, like I said, I love a good character study, and that's what Pearl gave me.
Yeah, I think I think the high reviews for Pearl aren't that surprising though, purely because X was so divisive. So there's a lot of people who hate X. So there's no reason they're going to see Pearl. So I feel like Pearl is purely people who enjoyed X going to see it.
That is a good point.
It's weeded out the people that hated Pearl or X dragging down. Pearl is just the fans of X going to see it. And kind of going off what George said, I'm a little opposite. I thought X was average to good. I put it at a 5.9 out of 10. And I loved Pearl. I gave it a 7.9 out of 10. I loved the character study. I thought X was a lot more art house, experimental editing, whereas Pearl, I didn't get that as much. I did feel like Pearl felt more rushed, not in terms of anything felt not done well enough, but in terms of it just seemed like a production that they wrote a quick screenplay, made the movie. But I loved it. I thought the story was more complete. I thought X was a little all over the place a bit. Didn't know if it wanted to be a character study or a slasher. And when X came out, we didn't know Pearl was coming out. So we couldn't say, oh, don't worry about Pearl's backstory. You're going to get a whole movie on that. So when you just purely watch X, you're kind of like, I don't know. Her motivations are a little wish-washy for me. They try and go down an avenue of explaining it, but Pearl, you get the whole background. I love the character study. Mia Goth, nothing more needs to be said. Absolutely incredible.
It'd be interesting if someone hasn't watched X and they could watch Pearl prior
first,
and actually see sort of how. Because I think I'll probably take the same stance as Tyler. I liked X. I think it was like a good film, maybe like a 7 out of 10. I liked it a bit more than Tyler, but not as much as George. And I think by the sounds of it, I'd probably prefer Pearl. It just depends on your preference. But I think it'd be interesting to see people's opinions on X after they watch Pearl and see how much it really changes. I think that'd be really interesting actually.
Yeah, but as George touched on, it's not a slasher, but there's still slashings. I think the only thing that removes it from the slasher genre is the suspense really isn't there. There's not someone lurking that you're waiting for a kill, but in terms of pure killings, like I didn't tally them up, but I think it could honestly be similar numbers because X didn't have that many. Like
no, it's relatively similar.
Yeah, I loved it. Go ahead, Cam.
This is interesting because I don't know if this is why I hate the 5 out of 5 like ratings. I've gone off about it to you guys obviously. I hate 5 out of 5. I love the out of 100. But that's just me tooting my own ranking system. But I have Pearl rated higher than George. And I'm okay with my I have it at an 80 out of 100. I like it more than X, so therefore it's a 4 out of 5 on Letterboxd. But I think I liked it about the same. I don't know. I hate. I go back to I hate the 5 out of 5 rating, but I think 80 is where I want it. So I have X at a 77, so it's 3i or whatever. Doesn't matter. I do like it more. I don't. And then again, I don't know if I love Ty West. You guys say he was given creative freedom, right? I don't know if I love his editing style. It wasn't bad. It didn't take me out, obviously. I still really enjoyed this movie. I just don't know if I love it. Mia Goth's performance is really what takes this movie almost to another echelon, or I guess gets it that 4 out of 5. It's incredible. I like a character study. Tyler said, we do have some good slashes. So I think it found that nice middle ground. It probably is a little slow at the start, and that's where I drop it a little bit. But yeah, I did really enjoy it, and I'm not a horror guy. Tyler, I'm interested to know, is this something that scared you? You're less of a horror guy than me, we've found. So
yeah, so I
that's a hard thing to do.
Yeah, I'm not a big horror guy whatsoever, but I didn't find X or Pearl to be clocking in on my scares radar. I mean, X is clearly more suspenseful, as anyone will tell you that. Pearl not at all. 0 on the horror meter for me. You can go into it totally afraid of everything and not get scares. There's slashes in there, but again, like I said, X is scarier, quote unquote, because you have the tension building up to them. Whereas in Pearl, I feel like you're never really on the edge of your seat, which I'm not knocking it for it. I'm just trying to explain the differences of the movie. So yeah, it wasn't scary.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, and one thing I'll say is the movie's predominantly during the day, so I think
it makes a difference.
I think to make that truly terrifying, Midsummer obviously is predominantly during the day, and I think that movie's incredible. So I don't think this was nearly on that level.
Do you rate that higher? I didn't know you.
I have that at a 93, dude.
Really?
Yeah, I think Midsummer's insanely good. I have it higher than Hereditary by a good amount, by 10.
Me and George aren't gonna like that.
Yeah, I know that's fine. Hereditary is also
Come
a
on.
movie I may have just been like.
me?
Hereditary is also a movie I watched it when it had come out, like 2019,
2019?
okay, somewhere around there. Yeah, so it was like 4 years ago at this point. I watched it when it came out. I will never watch that movie again. I will never watch that movie again. It scared me. Yeah. It scared the living shit out of me. So it's never going to get moved. It may be a better movie. I don't know. I'm not going to like it.
Coming from like someone who watches horror all the time, I found Hereditary scary. But that was a scary film, so I kind of get it.
Midsummer, in my opinion, is scary in a different way. It uses horror different, and that's what I think you have to, that's what I think you have to do when you make a movie predominantly during the day. Obviously, like you're not going to scare someone with a bunch of jump scares. I don't know. Like I think Toni Collette crawling on the walls would be a lot less scary if the lights were on and everyone could see her and she's just up there like, "What's up, guys? How's everyone doing?" You know, like you can't do that during the day. So I think that's what the place like Pearl does very well, but doesn't exceed to that upper echelon of movies like Midsommar does, in my opinion.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, that's all I've got on Pearl. I don't know, George, you want to go into it anymore? You got it.
I think I said everything I wanted to.
Obviously, go if you want. I don't know any bit more. I think we all reviewed it on TikTok. Actually, I didn't review any of these on TikTok.
I'll review it when it comes out.
Yeah, it's been a busy week. That's our main source of content.
I went to both of these in the same night. So my girlfriend's friend is in town visiting us, staying with us. So all three of us went to see Woman King, and they all left, and I went to Pearl alone right afterwards. Yeah. And the dichotomy between the trailers before Woman King and then just like they leave me and I just go on my own to the theater, and then you got like the Prey to the Devil trailer, and then
not seeing that.
I was like just going in alone. I'm like,
dude,
I'm not allowing that to get reviewed on the pod because I'm not watching it. Like, oh my god, that's horrible.
What's that? Smile.
We can do Smile maybe.
I can't wait for Smile. I can't wait for Smile.
Smile doesn't look nearly as intense though than the Prey to the Devil.
At the same time.
Yeah, dude, that's so fucked. I think that's the opposite of what you should do to the devil. Actually, not pray to it personally. God, movie's so creepy. I hated that trailer. Yeah. All right. So those are our first movie reviews on this pod. So hands up to everyone. Good work. We will get right into. Actually, first, is there anything, Seth, majority? Would you like to mention anything about the Rings of Power? Have you guys watched episode 4?
My feelings was the same as last time. It's good. Production value is insane. Dialogue is a bit iffy at times. I'm not connected to all the characters, but I think a lot of people are review bombing it and just saying it's bad because it doesn't follow the law. I just think it's a good show. I don't think it's an amazing. Yeah, I think it's a good show. I think it's like a 8 out of 10. I don't think it's amazing, but I think it's enjoyable. Good.
Episode 4, I really like. I think episode 4 is really good. Where I think
that was the best one.
Yeah, I didn't care for 1 through 3. But on the Lord of the Rings of Power, and House of the Dragon, we're gonna do fictional lands draft. So we had to explain it to Seth. So the UK doesn't really have
the UK people
like we have here.
It's your sporting thing, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll be doing a snake draft. We already made the order. It was random order. I didn't rig it. I sent him the video. It'll be me, Tyler, George, Seth. So we'll do 5 rounds, drafting different fictional lands, fictional worlds. The rules are loose, but we'll just snake back around. It could be movies, TV, book. I don't know, anything. It can really be anything. So I'm starting off. First pick. This is going to be a hot take here. I'm not going with the big ones, I don't think. I'm going with Jurassic Park or World, a week before the destruction, because it's gonna flap, get destroyed on its face or whatever. It's gonna fall on its face. I'm going a week before, so I'm having fun. Dinosaurs are all happy. No one's getting out yet. No one's dying. This is a good week here. Jurassic.
What a waste of a first pick.
That was a terrible.
No, that was number 2 on my list. That was number 2 of my 20 I've listed.
That's not even on my list.
Oh yeah,
that's not on my list.
All right, Ty, I'll make fun of you guys when it gets there.
Yeah, so I'm up. First off, Cam, so are you keeping track of these? Like, what are all 5 are? And then, so at the end, you'll review it. Okay, because we'll make this into like we've been doing. If you haven't been subscribing to the YouTube, we'll make this a separate YouTube video clip, post this on TikTok. We want you all to vote in the comments. whose 5 fantasy lands wins this draft. For me,
Yeah.
first pick,
Cam.
dude. That if he would have taken him at number 1, and again, like
this
Cam,
is where I'd want to go personally.
Yeah.
So I'd be happy to be there.
fair, and that's why my pick, I'm leaving a lot on the table for George and Seth still, but this is still a more basic pick than I'd say Cam's was. My first pick is going to be Hogwarts.
There's
Yeah,
that was on there for me.
I'd want to go there. I get it.
Yeah.
Can we just call that the Wizarding World in general?
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
that's
sure.
the Wizarding World. That's fine. Yep.
I mean,
Right.
I can't believe Middle Earth is still on the table.
Oh yeah, you wanna
What are
hang
you
out where
doing?
a giant,
I
where a giant
cannot-
eye is ruling you?
I just
The
can't.
fucking eye.
I cannot.
You're not picking it.
Of course, I'm picking it.
That's
Pussy-ass
mine.
eye.
Middle Earth. That's the greatest fantasy land ever created. You guys.
I
are
mean, you're
butt.
right, but fuck you for picking it. I want to.
I mean, have fun with Sauron. Like,
Have fun with
it.
dinosaurs. It's gonna get old after a
No,
day.
no. I'm the week before. All right, we're happy. Everyone's happy. I've made that pretty apparent. We're all good. Me and the T-Rexes are hanging out.
Also, we're doing 5 rounds for everyone listening,
Yeah,
just so y'all know.
So Seth, you got 2 picks now.
I am going to go for the spirit realm, as in Spirited Away.
Spirited Away?
I like that.
Interesting.
There's no real enemies there. There's so many characters, so
No, I
much
like that.
background.
Weren't they all trying to keep her there? Like,
Yeah, but there's no real antagonist. It's
Okay,
just
I
a nice,
guess,
like,
yeah, I guess.
there's so many people to meet.
sure.
I don't
sure.
know, man. Imagine going
Do
to the
you-
bathhouse. It'd be amazing. I love it.
You
get another
one more
pick.
pick.
Yeah, you get 2 because it's
Oh, yeah,
snakes.
yeah.
It's snakes.
Okay. So I am gonna go for. I'm gonna go for Narnia. I think that'd be quite fun.
Narnia. Man.
Yeah, I think this again, characters, creatures. I don't know. I think that'd be a good one. There's so you can go in the winter, the summer.
Maybe
So
it was
sad.
my maybe it was just my
I think George
fat-
is getting his first 2 picks.
I mean, it's ridiculous that. I mean, obviously, I'm taking Westeros. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
that,
I mean-
it's crazy that this is still on the table. 6
All right.
picks in.
Again, have fun
So many
with dragons
wars, so
eating
many
your
battles,
ass.
though.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm not going over dragons.
Yeah. I mean, these dragons, they're
But
flying.
you're gonna
around.
you're gonna go in dinosaurs?
A week before. Damn it, I cannot stress that enough.
I stand by Cam's pick.
Yeah,
All right, is it me?
we're chilling. Yeah.
I mean, sure.
All right.
Yeah,
well,
you're up.
the inner fat kid me is coming out because Narnia for Seth. When I watched that movie, the number one thing that stuck with me is Turkish delights. Looked like the most
Turkish Delight.
delicious
Yeah,
thing ever. So for this pick, we're going Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a good one until you eat the wrong like candy and balloon up. But
Until you get molested by a
by a
Oompa
Oompa
Loompa.
Loompa.
Who
Yeah.
says that's not adding to the
we're going there.
experience?
We're going there.
Oh God, I didn't make that long of a list because I thought mine are pretty niche. If you haven't found
I have a list of 20 because I didn't think I'd get Middle Earth and Westeros.
in Westeros, yeah, no, that's fair. I thought they'd be 2. I thought people would call me an idiot already. So I'm going with Bikini Bottom.
Stop it.
No, that's a W. That's a W. Cam W.
I want
Nothing
Hey.
happens there. That's fine.
Hey,
I get that.
I want a Krabby Patty. All right, I want it. It's a hamburger that's wet. Yeah, sure, I'm in. And then second or third pick, and I think this is a steal. I'm going with a woman's bedroom. That is that's a fantasy land to me. I've never found it. Can't get there.
You have
was
a
my
kid.
long joke.
Wait, there's no way.
That was the joke.
You're the only one with a kid here.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't work as well anymore. But that was my week long joke. Yep.
Yeah.
I
The,
don't even
the
feel
second
bad.
you had a child, that joke should have died.
Probably.
No way you just said that.
I told you guys if it doesn't land, I just won't be on next week's episode. But yeah, a woman's bedroom is my that's a fictional place, man. I don't think they're real. Never been. All right, Tyler, you're up.
Well, how do I follow that up?
What did you say?
I'm split between
That's
2,
so-
but I'm gonna go with
That's
Wakanda
horrible.
here. I'll go with Wakanda.
Oh, that's
I had that. Yeah, that's annoying.
I have Wakanda on my list, but it's okay.
Okay. sorry.
I'll survive.
I think you'll get what you wanted. Told you I had some niche picks.
My third pick, we're going straight from Coco. I'm going the Land of the Dead.
Mhm.
Nice.
Because I don't have to deal with the living.
Angsty George.
Yeah. Tired of being alive. Dark. I'm sorry.
Oh my god. All right,
Is it
Seth,
me? It's me.
Seth,
Isn't it?
you've got two. You've got
Uh,
two picks.
I'm gonna go for the Kingdom of Far, Far Away. There's a dragon.
Sure.
There's also Donkey.
I like
There's
that.
Shrek.
I like that. I
I mean,
like that.
There's many characters.
I like
Donkey does fuck the dragon. So
Yeah, he does.
he
Yeah,
does.
I do.
So I mean, it's a cool dragon, I guess.
I like that pick.
And then I've got two, haven't I? Yeah.
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 I'm gonna go for the Underground Realm, which is Pan's Labyrinth. Again,
Okay. That's horrible.
just a weird one, mythical.
Yeah.
It just
I
is
mean,
cool. I like
if you're depressed, just tell us.
Yeah, I hate that pick. I'm gonna say it. I respect your pick though. Continue. George,
I'm up. Oh fuck! I have so much on my list. I'm gonna bring in a hot take. I'm gonna go the Oasis from Ready Player One.
Oh, that's a great pick.
that's
a
great
great
pick. I didn't even think of that.
Thank you. I actually just watched Ready Player One. If I didn't watch it like 2 nights ago, I would never have thought of it.
Mm.
You know what? We'll just stick with MCU and I'll go Asgard.
Damn it.
Oh,
That was gonna be one of my like real.
that was my
picks.
next one.
I do. Yeah, that was on my list.
All right. I've got two. God, I hate myself.
As you should.
Say some dumb shit, bro.
I'm gonna go with a bathroom with a single stall and more than one person in it, where it's not awkward. That I've never had that situation, that not being awkward. That's the big kicker. But yeah, that's my fourth pick. And then
You hold on. You wanted to do this fantasy land
But you've
draft.
not made. You've put two in that aren't real. You need
no,
to-
these aren't real. That's the point of the fictional land.
Fair point.
You've
fair
never
point.
been in a bathroom that only has one stall and two people and it not be awkward. I want that life.
Cam's either winning the vote or getting last place. There's no in between.
If Cam
Yeah, there's
does
no in between.
last, I'm gonna be furious.
And then lastly is
Oh, you have another one.
I got my last pick is the United States where Ezra Miller is not a jackass. They have that's my last pick. That's all.
This is
I've got.
yours. No wonder you chose this.
I know. I'm so sorry.
I'm starting to understand.
Come on.
I'm so sorry.
Dude, you had me thinking way too long preparing a list of like 30 because I was like, all these are gonna get stolen.
Look at this.
That's why I had a list of 5.
You didn't. The Star Wars guy didn't even take a single Star Wars.
Yeah, because
Setting.
the fucking Empire might blow up my
Yeah,
my
Jurassic.
planet
The
randomly.
dinosaurs might escape your fence. Okay, I'm gonna go with my last
Not
pick.
a week before they won't.
Last pick. I mentioned it earlier in the podcast. Love snow. Love Christmas. Give me Whoville.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that one.
That's okay.
Shut
I mean,
up.
if I don't win this, I'm gonna be furious. I'm just saying. I'll be so pissed off. My last one, I'm gonna go from Warcraft, Azeroth.
I've never played that game.
Well, it's a sick fictional land.
Okay.
And it's better than one bathroom, one stall, 2 people.
No, it's not. That's unawkward, okay? That's the point. It's not awkward.
Seth, last
And-
pick.
It's me. I'm going Spooky Island from Scooby Doo.
Okay.
Nostalgia. Nostalgia reasons.
This went downhill so fast.
I feel like this is between George and me. I feel like there's no competition
so
between
sorry.
What do
George.
you
Sorry.
mean? I give real answers. We didn't.
Yeah,
No.
your real answers.
Yeah, Cam's last place for
Oh,
sure.
Spirited Away was
I'm
a good
first
one.
place.
No
I think
one
there
had
will be a
Spirited-
lot of people who are looking to get into the places I'm going.
I can't believe I got Middle Earth and Westeros with the 3rd and 6th.
I would have had Middle
What
Earth,
was
but
your
I
last
went
pick,
first.
Tyler? I'm so sorry.
Whoville.
Whoville. Yep. Okay. I was trying to type in the United States if Ezra Miller were not a jackass while you were saying that. So that's my fault.
Let's
Let's be politically correct. I hope they get help. I know they have some mental health issues, but they're being a jackass. So I'm gonna call them out for it. So,
Valid.
but continue.
Fair point.
What's going on in Whoville?
No, we're done with the draft now, right?
Cam,
Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
I'm surprised. Cam,
Give us a
Yeah.
recap. Give us a recap
Okay,
on everyone's
yeah,
5,
so
and then we'll go over some
recapping.
honorable mentions.
Recapping, Jurassic World for me. Jurassic World the week before the bad event, so we're happy. Bikini Bottom, a woman's bedroom, a single stall bathroom with more than one person in it that's not awkward, and the United States if Ezra Miller were not a jackass. Tyler has Hogwarts, Willy Wonka, Wakanda, Asgard, and Whoville. George has Middle Earth, Westeros, Land of the Dead, the Oasis, and then the World from Warcraft. What's the land called? I'm so sorry.
Azeroth.
I've never heard of that. I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, he's a fucking nerd. And then Seth, sorry, lastly has the Spirit Realm, Spirit Away, Narnia, Far, Far Away from Shrek, Pan's Labyrinth, and the Spooky Island from Scooby-Doo.
Oh yes.
I think it's toss-up. I personally think I will win.
Stop.
But
If you get one vote, I'm done with this pod.
I think we need.
He'll win. He will win.
Can we toss out some honorable mentions? I had
Yeah.
Pandora on my list from Avatar. I feel like that.
Good pick.
Oh yeah.
What about
with
Oz?
your hair?
George, what about Oz? You'll love
not-
that one.
Nope,
George
not
could never
mentioning
pick that.
it. Never go in there. Imagine. Come on.
Where?
Oz.
Sorry. No.
From the HBO show.
I'm surprised no one mentioned Gotham. Like I know there's a lot of. It's just a cool place.
Dude, again,
Like,
there's a mass murder every 2
Yeah,
weeks.
I know, but like,
Got a
who's
big
not going
bad-
to want to meet the Joker? Man?
I got a bad vigilante who's gonna shoot me on spot if I.
But that's why I asked
jaywalk.
you, like, are we doing places we want to live or just
don't-
cool
I
fancy
I
don't-
didn't.
lands?
In fairness, I didn't know we were
No,
doing
it
places we
doesn't.
wanted to
It
go
does
to.
not matter.
I was
It does
just
not
choosing
matter.
places I like.
This
Yeah.
is me. This
Yeah,
was me
yeah.
just being a jackass.
Can't throw
I
his logic out the door with the bathroom stall.
Yeah, no, I missed. I said it yesterday. I had a joke. I've been thinking about it for a week. If it didn't land, I won't be on next week's pod. So we'll see. We'll see the reaction. But
George, what
they're
other
all
honorable
fantasy.
mentions?
I had Camp Half-Blood from Percy
Oh,
Jackson.
I had Camp Athlete actually.
I had the City of a Thousand Planets from Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets. I had Neverland. I'm surprised no one
I had
actually picked
Neverland.
Neverland.
I had Neverland.
Oh, that'd be a good one.
I don't know what this land is called. I just have Jumanji written down.
Mhm.
Maybe like
Yep.
just a virtual game. I guess that
Cool.
just falls into the same category as the Oasis, which I picked. And then I had Wonderland from Alice in Wonderland. And of course, all the Star Wars planets. I had Yavin 4, Naboo, Mustafar.
So I did have Coruscant pre-Empire, but even then it seemed too risky. I'm trying to make it as long as I can in this world. It seemed too risky. They're
So you
fucking-
picked Jurassic Park a week before?
All right, I'm there for the whole week, and then I'm going home. It's a good vacation. Take the
Fair.
kids. We see a couple T-Rexes. We're back. We're gone. We're off Isla Nublar.
Oh,
Seth, did
I
you
didn't
have
know we were.
Seth? Do you have honorable
I
mentions?
didn't know we were. I didn't know we were thinking into this, like as in living there.
Yeah,
I
me
just
neither.
my
you
own-
don't have to.
Clearly
You do
not.
have to. I'm
My,
sorry.
uh,
I'm sorry.
My honorable mentions are very similar to George's. I had like 3 of the same ones. Nothing like. I had like Wakanda. I had Terabithia, which I thought was quite niche.
I did think that's a nice one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I had Star Wars Planets. That's about it.
Yeah, I also had Hawkins. Cool vibe of that town. Radiator
Yeah.
Springs. Even though we have Cars haters here, cool town. Thneedville in the Lorax. The Tipton Hotel. The Tipton Hotel and the cruise ship from Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
That's a good com.
The ship in Wall-E where you can just be fat and sit and everything's done for you all day.
It's a good world. That's a good one.
And Paradise Falls where he tries to go and up with his balloons.
Yeah.
Those are my honorable mentions.
I'll be honest. I didn't think I'd need a list of honorable mentions. So
Yeah, you did.
No shit.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
What would have been your 6th pick? A world where Cam likes horror movies?
Yeah, I don't know. It could have been anything, man. It's a fantasy draft.
So yeah, vote on who wins. I think
Mhm.
George started off the strongest. I think if I get some MCU fans, I could definitely pull off an upset with Wakanda and Asgard in there. Cam, no hope.
I can get a lot of people. There are a
No,
lot of people
Cam
who are
will win.
socially awkward and can't talk to people
Cam
like
Cam
me.
has
That's
Cam
where we're
has
at.
minions. He has follower minions that just are
Shout
in the
out
comment
them.
sections all the time. So Cam will win. I'm telling you.
Shout out them.
Cam will win.
Shout out them. Rise up, Cam Nation. All right. Well, that is the Fantasy Latin Draft. That is our episode 2. Thanks for everyone for listening. If you'd like to support, please leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts as well as Spotify. Go like our YouTube video. Subscribe to everything. You don't please watch the episode, but you don't even have to leave a review. You're more than welcome to just say someone looks good, and then Apple Podcasts will push it out, and Spotify will push it out from there. We appreciate everyone who came back from last episode. Giving us an episode 2 is really cool. We will be back next week. I don't know what we're reviewing just yet, but yeah. So there are links for everything in our bio. Until next week, I'm Cam. We have Seth, Tyler, and George. Thank you for coming to the ReelTok Podcast episode 2.